Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. You're watching Newsroom. I'm your host, Khalid. But today is Friday, the 30th of July, 2021, and these are the stories that we will be talking about during the course of our show. We will begin with the statement of the US Secretary of State Antony Blinkin, who said on Thursday that Pakistan has a vital role to influence the Taliban and that his country, that is the United States, hopes that Islamabad will play that role. He was giving these remarks while talking to different media channels that include ABC News and Al Jazeera. At the same time, we know the National Security Advisor, Moeed Yousaf, is in the United States. He's had talks with Jake Sullivan, his US counterpart as well. We'll be talking about how important that is in the context of the Afghan peace process and the future of Afghanistan. This is going to be our leading segment. Now, to discuss more as far as the Afghan peace process and its future is concerned, and what Pakistan's role is going to be in the context of the meeting of the two NSAs in the US, as well as Antony Blinken's statement, we've been joined by Adnan Qaiser. He's a research associate of the Conference of Defense Institute in Canada. Adnan, thank you very much to have joined us. What do you make of the statement by Antony Blinken?
First of all, thank you very much, Omar, for inviting me at your program. It's a great privilege to be at your program, and Assalamu alaikum to all your viewers. So first of all, you see, I've spoken on this in the past as well. You know, I've been in Canada, and I've been watching and observing and analyzing Afghan war from a NATO or a G7 perspective for the past about 11 years. So allow me to say that, you know, the West, if you will, had a flawed outlook towards this Afghan war. So Pakistan had a very clear stance that this is a political problem and this has to be addressed politically. There is no military solution to that. So thanks goodness that that has finally dawned on the West that so they found a political solution and they are moving towards that. But now there is a little problem with regards to too many stakeholders in Afghanistan. So there is a dichotomy at present. On one side, there is Afghan Taliban, and on the other side is the President Ashraf Ghani's government. So we, unfortunately, we have absolutely no role to play into the internal affairs of Afghanistan. So we are just the facilitators. And there has been a recognition. So what Secretary Blinken has said, it is an acknowledgement of Pakistan's significance in Afghan parley, as well as the future roadmap towards peace and stability. So this is one recognition which he has acknowledged.
All right. Now, also, Adnan, there's another thing that I'd like to ask you. When the Prime Minister says that Pakistan is neither responsible for the Taliban, nor are we their spokespersons, is there some kind of an undue pressure from the US so that Pakistan steps in and tries to handle the current situation in Afghanistan?
So understand, there are two aspects for that. So first of all, Pakistan had some influence over the Taliban in the first incarnation of Taliban during the 1990s. So, but later on, you know, things changed. A lot of water has run down the river. Taliban have become more pragmatic. They have politically evolved. And unfortunately, we do not have that kind of a significance or a role to dictate them. And they have acknowledged it. The spokesperson of Taliban has publicly stated a number of times that, you know, we have nothing to do with Pakistan. So we have no influence with regards to dictating them. So we can only persuade them through diplomacy, through our cultural and historical linkages. So if would they listen to us? That remains a question. So we have brought them on the negotiating table. The Doha peace agreement has resulted through Pakistan's proactive role, and that has been acknowledged worldwide. So, but the point is this, that, you know, we have limitations. To some extent we can go, but we cannot. Now, with regards to the scapegoating, you know, Pakistan's role in this Afghan war or in Afghan conflict has been viewed with skepticism. Unfortunately, Pakistan had very clear stance that we have absolutely nothing to do with this issue. We are a neighbor, and we have strong linkages, the historical, religious, cultural, linguistic linkages. But unfortunately, we have no role into that. But now, so then, Pakistan was tried, the West in a way tried to scapegoat Pakistan. And we clearly, categorically stated that we have absolutely no role. We did not, we were not party to the conflict. And we persuaded the actors, and we helped in bringing the parties to the negotiating table. And we have a clear roadmap towards peace.
All right.
If you follow it, please do that. Otherwise, we have limitations.
All right. Now, Antony Blinkin also talked to different media channels that included ABC News and Al Jazeera and some Indian channels, in which he showed the US concern as far as the future of Afghanistan and the current situation in Afghanistan is concerned. I would like to link that with the statement that our Prime Minister gave while talking to a US channel, PBS, and he said that the US has really messed it up. And he said that the US is not now talking from a position of strength, but more so because now that its forces are out of Afghanistan, the Afghan Taliban feel more vindicated as far as their current situation is concerned. What do you have to say on that?
So first of all, understand, for the first time, I'm very happy, I'm very pleased that for the first time in history, Pakistan is playing a proactive diplomacy. Pakistan is playing, as in we say in the cricket, playing on the front foot. So we are addressing all queries, questions, any misconceptions, we are clarifying them. Our National Security Advisor, fortunately, he understands the language of the West, so he speaks their language. So he has interacted with the United States National Security Advisor twice. He's still there, and he is trying to put across our point of view. Our point of view had been very clear. So what we are trying to say that, I'll come to your point about the future of Afghanistan, which we see, everyone is seeing what I call it a civil war 2.0. Historically, Afghan has a culture of revenge. So there had been atrocities committed in the past, and which are not forgotten and cannot be forgiven. So if they follow Pakistan's prescription, then perhaps there is a possibility of peace. But now, with regards to the United States, Pakistan is saying three things. First of all, please do not view our relations, the US-Pakistan relations, in the context of Afghanistan alone. We had a history of 73, 74 years, and we had very cordial and convivial relations in the past. We do not view us. Secondly, Pakistan has shifted its orientation from geopolitics, geostrategy to geoeconomics, which Prime Minister Imran Khan has number of times he has stated. So, the same thing. Please do not view us and our CPAC from the prism of the great competition which you have with China. This is second. The third one, our detractors and adversaries have always been blaming us about the strategic depth. It is naive, absolutely naive to believe that strategic depth still continues. It is a redundant and obsolete concept since May 1998 when the nuclear tests were taken place. So there is a strategic equilibrium in the region, and absolutely there is no concept of Pakistan seeking any kind of a role or influence in Afghanistan.
All right. Now, which brings me, of course, something that you've mentioned, the meeting between the two national security advisors from the US side, Jake Sullivan, and from Pakistan side, Moeed Yousaf. This is the second meeting after their first meeting in March in Geneva. How important is this meeting as well?
Very important. Previously we had not been talking. And I very much wish there had been voices in Washington that President Biden should pick up the phone and speak to Prime Minister Imran Khan. It should happen. We should talk more, and this is what is happening. The National Security Advisor Moeed Yousaf has. This is the second time he is speaking, and he is articulating very clearly, with clarity, what we can do in Afghanistan, what has been our role in the past, what role we have played in the negotiations that has ultimately led to the Doha Agreement. And we have an absolutely clear roadmap towards peace and stability. That all the legitimate, I'll repeat, legitimate stakeholders in Afghanistan sit together and chart out
or a legitimate stakeholder should sit together and chalk out the future plan for Afghanistan. I'd like to ask the question to Adnan Qaiser. Do you feel, Adnan, that the formula involving India that has been a spoiler as far as the Afghan situation is concerned, and Pakistan that has been wanting an Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process, can go forward? Can there be some kind of a balance and equilibrium in that relationship that the US is trying to have with both the nations as far as the future of Afghanistan is concerned?
Very pertinent question. You see, India got a historical opportunity to play a productive and very constructive role in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, it did not. And if you recall the statement of Chuck Hagel, the former U.S. Defense Secretary, he had acknowledged on publicly that India had been playing a spoiler's role or causing terrorism in Pakistan through Afghanistan. So India did invest about $3 billion or nearly $3 billion in Afghanistan. But unfortunately, it could not win the whole population. It still continues to put all its eggs in the basket of Northern Alliance, constituting of Hazara, Uzbek, and Tajik communities. So, as Pakistan realized its mistake of the past, and except for the Pashtuns, we interacted and we tried to engage with all the ethnic minorities of Afghanistan, and we still, we are pursuing towards them. But unfortunately, India did not. So India still unfortunately has a spoiler's role. And if you recall, a few weeks ago, India had sent ammunition, some 122 millimeter howitzers ammunition to the Afghan government. At this moment, this is counterproductive. So this is viewed with negativity by the Taliban, by the international community, and unfortunately, India has lost its
well, only time will tell how it's going to all bode out for the future. But of course, let's see how things move along. As far as Pakistan's role is concerned, it has been quite active. In fact, it was due to Pakistan that the Afghan Taliban and of course came to the negotiation table, and now again the US is asking for Pakistan's help and assistance as far as the future of Afghanistan is concerned, to bring some kind of a positive solution to the current situation that exists in the country. Thank you very much, Dr. Adnan Sarwar Khan Sahab. Thank you very much, Adnan Qaiser Sahab, to have joined us for this very important segment concerning the future of Afghanistan and the role that Pakistan has been playing, and the acknowledgement by the United States of America of Pakistan's role, past and present.